The agenda for today is to give you a quick introduction on who we are, and then I will discuss price action versus mean reversion, which are the two types of market conditions that you will be trading turbos in. Typically, we like to focus in the mean reverting markets, which means the markets which are bouncing and they're not really trending. And then I will divulge a pretty useful short-term binary options trading strategy, which focuses on short-term expiries in these mean reverting markets and how you can exploit it and also use it to your benefit. And then at the end, as always, I will end the webinar discussing some key risks that you should avoid when you are trading binary options in currencies, okay? And then at the end, we'll have a short Q&A if I've missed anything. And I will also take the opportunity to present to you a pretty neat service that we have created called Signal Hive Hybrid, which connects to your binary.com account and allows you to auto trade certain signals and indicators. So I'll show you that towards the end of the webinar, okay? So to give you a quick introduction, we are Blue Sky Binary. We're an advanced binary education and trade recommendations group. We are a group of senior traders that teaches a range of binary option strategies, long-term strategies, intra-hour, and even intra-minute, very, very short-term binary option strategies, which is the focus of today's webinar. We also provide 24-hour trade support and analysis to allow binary traders to trade safer. We are in collaboration with binary.com and delivering these webinars in order to educate you, their members or potential members, to become successful binary option traders in the long run. Now, it's worth noting that binary.com meets our high watermark for quality as a very trusted broker with a very solid online and offline reputation for almost a decade in an industry where trust, of course, remains an issue. So as I briefly alluded to earlier, there are two types of markets that you will encounter as binary option traders. The first is it's a less frequent type of market. It's known as the trending market or the price action market, where you're seeing bulls or bears moving the price up decisively in a northern or a southern trend. And normally these trends, they happen between 8 a.m. GMT to 4 to 5 p.m. GMT. This is the simultaneous London and US sessions where you have a lot of news, a lot of institutional proprietary trading desks, hedge funds, investment banks. You also have a lot of sovereigns who are making currency transactions, and you can have a lot of trends, right? And of course, you get a lot of news as well. Outside these hours, you actually have significantly quieter markets, so to put it. All right? It doesn't mean that you don't get trends in the Asian session or in the late US session, but you just get much less levels of liquidity, so the market goes into a quieter mode or a range-bound mode. And it's important to understand that the market is changing. It always changes between these modes, and about 65 to 70% of the time, you are going to be encountering a more quieter market, a range-bound market. Okay, 30% of the time, 35%, you are actually amongst the sharks, so to put it, amongst the big players, the big trends, the big liquidity, and that's a more tricky market to navigate. The turbo strategy that we're going to go over today is very simple. It's not very indicator heavy. It doesn't require any very deep technical knowledge at all. It's pretty much plug in and play. And therefore, it also is to be used in this second market or the quieter market known as the mean reversion market or the ranging market, which is typically after 5 p.m. GMT. In the evening. It doesn't mean it can't be used earlier on. It's just safer to use it after 5 p.m. GMT. Okay? So these are the 4 things you want to look out for. But before I actually tell you what they are, please first get access to a proper chart provider. There are a lot of free chart providers out there. You can get in touch with us and we can let you know which ones, or get in touch with your support at binary.com and they'll be happy to advise on that. The most important thing is that the chart provider should have a 5-minute chart. Okay. The strategy works on 10-minute charts and 15-minute charts as well, but it's optimized for 5-minute charts. All right. Then you want to add Bollinger Bands. All right, it's a very simple indicator. It comes on most charting packages, and the Bollinger Bands should be set at 14 periods and 2 standard deviations. It doesn't matter if they're set at 20 periods and 2 standard deviations, which is the normal default setting. All right, 14 and 2 just gives you a few more opportunities because it's more sensitive. So 5-minute charts, add the Bollinger Bands, switch to candlesticks. I'm sure all of you already are on candlesticks. For those of you that don't know what candlestick charts are, this webinar probably is not for you. You probably need to first understand very, very basics of trading, but we're assuming here that you're here and you understand candlestick theory. We do teach it as well on future webinars, but you have to switch your charts to candlesticks. Please add the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. It's the most popular indicator out there, the most known one, certainly. And set that to 9 periods. It normally comes with 14 periods default, which also works, but 9 periods again gives you a few more opportunities. And then you should add a stochastic indicator. Whether it's the fast stochastic or the slow stochastic, most charting providers have one of the two, if not both. And you just add it here and you set the period to 9 and 1. All right? So to recap, a 5-minute chart, any currency pair is fine. Add the Bollinger Bands, add the RSI, and add the fast stochastic. All right? And what you're looking for is firstly no news. Right? As I said, you want to trade this safely, and this requires a bouncy market. So you don't want news which can trigger big trends. So you want to trade this typically after 5 p.m. GMT. It can be traded before London opens as well. But if you're trading it during the day, which incidentally is where this chart period is set at, then you're actually increasing your risk. Okay? So just ensure there's no major news that's about to come or significant news that's happened just a few minutes ago, which has triggered a trend. The second thing you want to check for is a flat Bollinger channel. Okay, so these are the Bollinger Bands. Remember, there's a northern Bollinger Band, the upper band. You have the middle band, which is the moving average price, and you have the lower Bollinger Band. Right? These are 3 bands basically, and they typically define the range of movement in price. All right? You want to look for a flat or flat-ish Bollinger Band. In this case, you notice it's wide and it's slightly facing up, but overall it's pretty flat. By comparison, look at the last 1 or 2 hours. You'll notice the price is actually headed south, right? The price is headed decisively south. The candlesticks are hugging the lower Bollinger Band, and the Bollinger channel is parallel, right? The upper band and the lower band, they are parallel and they're facing downward, all right? So this is not the market you want to trade in. It's actually this flat Bollinger channel, okay? So once you've identified this, you are now ready to take the trade, okay? This is how you actually trade. What you want to do is take a look at the RSI and make sure that it is above 40 and below 60, all right? So you can actually draw 2 lines at 60 and 40. Remember, anything under 30 or 20 is considered oversold, which means there may be a temporary reprieve in price, right? And anything over 70 or 80 is overbought, which means, again, there may be a temporary pullback. So you want to make sure the price is actually in a neutral zone of RSI, which we consider anywhere in the range from 40 to 60, roughly in that range, right? By comparison, look at the RSI here in the last few hours when the price was trending down. That was a downtrend and the RSI was oversold. You don't trade there. There's not this strategy, okay? You wait for the RSI to neutralize. And again, going back to what I said earlier, wait for a flat Bollinger channel. And now you're ready to actually enter the trade, okay? Because you have the ideal conditions. And what you're basically doing is you're waiting for the current 5-minute candle to close sharply up or sharply down, or sharply up or sharply down. It doesn't matter. You just take a trade in the opposite direction, right? And the way you want to confirm this is take a look at your stochastic reading, right? Remember this fast stochastic indicator we had here? You want to basically make sure that, let's take a look at, for example, this green candle here, right? This relatively green, no wicks, decisive bull candle. It hit the upper Bollinger Band. And also notice the slope on the stochastic was sharp. It looks like a tooth of a shark, right? it has this bend here, and it kind of looks like a sharp edge. What you do here is when that candle closes, you would take a put or a short in the terms of binary options trading, and the expiry would be for 5 minutes. It does work on 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but if you can get 5 minutes, you may need those entire 5 minutes to win the trade. And mind you, in this case, the trade won by about 1 pip, which is enough for turbo trading, right? And immediately after it shut down, look at where the stochastic closed. It closed with, again, a similar tooth formation, in this case here, and you would have opened a call or a up or a long trade, right? And in this case, this candle won by 3 or 4 pips, which is a decent win for a turbo. A turbo trade, again, being a short expiry schedule binary trade. And you actually could repeat this process up, down, for 5 or 6 consecutive wins in a row. And this is all happening in a time span of 20 minutes. So that's important to note that this is high frequency trading. You absolutely do not need to martingale. Martingaling is risky, right? It's not required here. And you may take a hit on 1 or 2. So that's also important to note, is that although this is an ideal setup, so I'm showing you almost 5, 6, 7 wins in a row, where you're literally taking the opposite direction of where the candle has closed. Remember, you're always waiting for the candle to close. That's also important. In reality, when you start to trade this more, you may not get 5 or 6 lineups or opportunities in a row. So you can take it slow and just do 1 or 2 an hour and then wait for the ideal conditions and do 1 or 2 more, right? And ideally, you don't want to be trading more than 5 or 6 of these per day. That's already pretty high frequency. So that's basically it, right? That's how you would trade. That's a potential way to trade short-term expiries, right? It's not the only way. There is, of course, a plethora of turbo strategies out there. This is one of them, and it's had pretty good results in our Blue Sky Binary community, right? So again, although I went over the calibration, let's do it one more time to actually make this strategy work, which, by the way, you can use both on your VRTC, your virtual account on Binary.com, or MX, your real money account. It's up to you. The beauty about the Binary.com platform is that it allows very low-level, low-dollar trade sizes for you to get used to the strategy, which is really important. You don't have to go in with, $25, $50 trades immediately. So that's pretty good. You can try it out. We would advise access to a chart provider with a 5-minute time frame. Most chart providers have that. Again, I reiterate, switch to candlestick charts. Don't have, just lines up there or bid-ask prices or Heikin Ashi or Renko or any of those fancy things. Just keep it simple to candlesticks. Add the Bollinger Bands, add the RSI, add the stochastic indicator, all right? And if you want to scout opportunities on multiple pairs, so you don't have to restrict yourself to AUD, JPY. This is just an example. You can actually have 6 to 8 pairs at the same time up, and you only need to trade the one where you find these conditions, right? And again, you only need to do a few trades per day. You don't need to be having 30, 40 trades per day, because then you're going to be over trading and you're going to be forcing yourself to trade opportunities that aren't that good, right? And then last but not least, you want to have expiries of around 5 minutes, okay? So let's come to the risks in currency trading. Regarding robots, it's advised, if you're new to the industry, that a lot of these robots don't actually work over time, so be very careful with your real money. You can, of course, try with virtual money, all the robots, because then there's no real cost to you, but be careful about robots because they normally deplete your account over time. Not saying all don't work, I'm just saying a lot of them don't. Also, please note that in foreign exchange, statistically 95% or so, maybe 94% of people don't make money, and the rest do. And you can make a lot of money, but it requires a lot of discipline and knowledge of technicals. So if you are here and you're not interested in charts or in chart time, then we would really ask you to question kind of, long-term if this is something for you. Of course, these days technology has come a long ways, so you can copy trades from some significant or experienced traders. You can follow signals from experienced traders, so that's a good thing, but it's always good to also have your own strategy. Okay? And this brings me to the next point. Again, if you're new, it's normal to lose money first. It's almost the par for course because you understand the risk reward mechanism in the brain, how you react to losses. If you can't sleep at night after experiencing a few dollars of loss, then trading is not for you. But if it's something that you understand that, look, over the long run you will learn, then we would ask you, it's not too bad if you experience drawdown at first, right? So don't lose heart. Trading is tough, but it can be very rewarding if done correctly. And that's what, we teach. And of course, there are other companies that teach that as well. All right. So before I move on to Signal Hive Hybrid, which connects to your Binary.com virtual and real money accounts, okay, it's a pretty cool service. So I want to spend 5 minutes going over that. I want to ask you if any of you have any questions for me. I'll be very happy to answer them, right? So any questions at all for me on the trading strategy or anything, please ask now. Okay, I see a question from Deborah. Kindly confirm the image on the screen is not static. I cannot see any movements. Yes, sorry. So this screen here, the chart that you're looking at, this is just a screenshot. Okay, this is a historical chart. It's not real time. It's not moving real time. Okay, I see no further questions at this moment. If you have any questions about the strategy, feel free to interject. I'm going to move on to the next part of the presentation. I want to show you a pretty exciting technology that we've developed, and it connects to your Binary.com accounts, either on demo or the real money. I am required legally to read you this disclaimer, so please bear with me first. This is a Signal Hive risk disclaimer. The contents of this material are for informational purposes only and do not constitute investment advice. Blue Sky Binary assumes no responsibility for any potential errors, inaccuracies, or omissions in this material. Nothing in this communication contains or should be considered as containing an investment advice or an investment recommendation or a solicitation for the purpose of purchase or sale of any financial instrument. Signal Hive is solely a product of Blue Sky Binary. Binary.com makes no guarantee or warranty about the product, including the trading signals inside it, being advertised during this webinar, and has not independently reviewed the information provided. The views expressed are solely those of Blue Sky Binary and do not necessarily reflect the views or position of Binary.com. What follows next is a risk warning. Binary options trading may not be suitable for all investors as it carries a very high degree of risk to your capital. Trading such products is risky and you may lose all of your investment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Poor fill rates, expiry times, market volatility, and platform errors could result in losing trades. Before deciding to invest in binary options, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. You should be aware of all the risks associated with foreign exchange and binary options trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Okay, with this out of the way, let's move on. So Signal Hive Hybrid, I'm going to show you the software in about 5 minutes, how it exactly looks. So I'll share my desktop. But before I do this, I want to give you a quick update on what exactly this is. It is currently the quickest growing binary option signals marketplace, providing between 20 and 25 high quality and back-tested trade setups across the day, okay, trade signals. Now, these are based partially on our proprietary algorithms that our research and development team has developed, and they have been developed over years, so we've back-tested them for over 3 years. The interesting thing about the hybrid component of Signal Hive, so it's not just a manual signal service, right, that gives you call and put signals. The hybrid technology allows you to replicate the signals you see on Signal Hive into your Binary.com accounts in real time. You do not require access to your Binary.com trading platform, merely a connection from Signal Hive into your Binary.com account. And you do that by using your API token that your Binary.com account has. You place that token inside the Signal Hive hybrid unit, right? Now, once that's done, this technology saves you valuable time that is often lost between when a signal is fired, okay, on any signal service, and then you actually having to go to your computer screen, log into the Binary.com platform, select the asset, select the expiry, and take the signal. You don't need to do that anymore. You can do this on fully automatic mode and just let it run, okay, on a VPS Or you can do this on a semi-automatic mode. When a signal is fired, you can decide if you like it, all right? And you literally can decide if you like it, and you can also trade it manually, okay? So this is how the replication module looks. You can see here already a lot of elements from the binary.com interface we have packaged into this window. And when the signal is live, you just click on this orange button over here, and you decide if you want to add it to the Hawkeye, which is a monitoring system which waits for a better entry on the signal, so it gives you a safer entry, higher win rate. Or you can just go to your risk management and your risk settings and fire and forget and put it on fully automatic trading mode, okay? So although this may sound a little bit much to take in, it's very new technology to the binary option space, and since binary.com has a very powerful API, our team has put it to good use, and we have created something quite interesting, and a lot of your fellow colleagues in binary.com are already on there, and this is how it looks. I'm going to now share my screen. Just give me one moment. Okay, I think you should be able to see, my desktop now if I'm not wrong. So this is how Signal Hive looks, okay? And so take a moment to kind of process this. At the top, you have the ribbon, and here's the signals room. Here's the hybrid settings. If you click on that, you can connect to your binary.com account and put your risk settings for every signal stream, okay? Here you see that, okay? We have a powerful analytics function, which shows you the win rates for all the signal streams, both the robotic and the human ones. I'll go over that in a minute, through time. So you can do it by currency pair, by time of day, okay? And you can see how the system is performing over time as well, okay? And you can also do this on an individual stream basis. So individual signal stream that you're subscribed to, we track this data. All right. So at the top, you will see the robotic signals. And there are currently in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 7 robotic signals, each which have different type of strategies and logic. Okay, for example, Curve, Pulse, which is a turbo signal. This only has 5 minutes. Extreme, which is an hourly signal. They all have different trade logics, and they're firing 24 hours of the day. And they can have some pretty good weeks, as you see here today. You know, this week they're at 90% accuracy, but this is of course not always the case. This is a great week, but you can track all their win rates in real time. It gives you the name of the signal, the direction, up or down, the expiry, when it was fired, the asset, the price, the entry price, the outcome, if it actually won or lost. And also you can click on View Chart, and we have a pretty powerful chart package embedded that shows you live charting in real time. Okay, so in answer to that one attendee's question, this is actually a real-time charting package, right? So you can do real-time analysis on the fly. And at the top, these are robotic signals, and if you subscribe to human signals, which all offer free trials, by the way, and this entire system, by the way, has a 1-week free trial, so you pay nothing for signing up and trying it out on binary.com. Then when you scroll down, you can actually see the human signals that you've subscribed to, okay? And all of these humans also have their private chat rooms where they're giving more color behind the signal as well. As you can see here, there's some analysis also happening by the main trader, okay, by the main signal provider. So it's not just you in a black box. You can actually speak to the signal provider as well if you've subscribed to the human signals. Okay, so all of this can be manually traded or automatically if you hook it up to your binary.com account, or semi-automatically as well. That's totally up to you. Okay. So let me come back to the main presentation. And that's it. So we are now done. Do any of you have any questions about Signal Hive Hybrid, setting it up, the pricing, or anything like that? Please ask now. If not, you can just contact support@blueskybinary.com for more information, or add us, Blue Sky Binary, on Skype We'll be happy to explain you everything, either the strategy we went over today, the turbo trading strategy, or about Signal Hive. It's up to you. And these are our two websites, blueskybinary.com and Signal Hive. And again, there's a free trial for Signal Hive where you're not charged anything. You can try out the system, connect it to your virtual account on binary.com or real account, and give it a whirl. Okay? Okay, I see no questions. So I wish you all a good trading day ahead, and of course the rest of the week. And we'll see you on the next webinar. Thank you all, everybody, for your time.